So here's an example. We have this tire from this manufacturer, and there's no markings on it. There's no dots and there's no triangles. Um, so, fired up! And here we are again with another winter tire from a different manufacturer, and it only has a yellow dot. No red dot, no triangles. After reading through all your comments, after doing some extensive research on the internet, and making a few phone calls, I'm going to discuss the markings on this tire. We have a red dot, we have a yellow dot, we have a white triangle. We're going to start with the red dot. The red dot indicates the spot on the tire that is the least compliant, which means right in this section, the tire is the stiffest. A little softer everywhere else. Right here, the stiffest. This could be due to an overlap in manufacturing, any other manufacturing anomalies. So the red dot from this manufacturer indicates that that is the stiffest spot in the sidewall. And the recommendation is to line this red dot up with the lowest radial measurement on the rim. So basically, if there's a dip in the rim, that's where you would line that red dot up. So it's going to compensate for any potential bump that may be felt if this is in a low spot on the rim. The yellow dot, based on manufacturer's information, is the lightest spot on this tire. And this is statically. So statically in this plane of the tire, this is the lightest spot of this tire. So what they want you to do with the yellow dot is to line the yellow dot up with the valve stem. The theory is that the valve stem area on the rim, once the valve stem and or the tire pressure monitor is installed, is going to be the heaviest spot on the rim. So by lining that up with the lightest spot on the tire, you're going to give this tire its best likelihood of balancing with the least amount of weight. Now, I was unable to find any documented information about this triangle. This one right here. It's a white triangle. Now, if you look back in the comments on the previous video, it's been stipulated by some that are perhaps more in the know than I am, and admittedly, there's probably a lot of you that are. The white triangle is a mark put on the tire from the manufacturer for OEM applications. And this tire is an OEM application. This came off of a 2024 model vehicle. It suffered a puncture, so it had very little mileage on it. So the idea is that this white triangle would be match mounted to a predetermined mark on the rim, either a notch, a sticker, some kind of indicator on the rim. And right from the manufacturer, that's where that would be lined up, and that again would give the best overall ride quality. May not be the least amount of weight, but the vibration, harshness would be at its lowest point. Best ride quality doesn't always mean the least amount of weight. This is an all-weather tire from a reputable tire manufacturer. As you can see, there's absolutely no markings on the sidewall of this tire. That takes us into our next point, shall we say. This dot system that we've covered in the previous video and are continuing to talk about today in this video, it's not an industry standard. This is something that seems to be a bit of an argument. Not every manufacturer uses this dot system, whereby I've had to go to the manufacturer's websites to see exactly what their take on these dots are. This particular manufacturer, along with some others, simply state that the quality of the manufacturer of their product doesn't need dots. They're saying that the quality of this product is so good that it's discernible where a hard spot in the sidewall may be, or the lightest or the heaviest spot of the tire is. Now, this is manufacturer's statements. Take it with a grain of salt. Obviously, it could just be that maybe the manufacturers don't want to be bothered taking the time to do this step. Maybe the quality is to the point where they feel that they don't need to do that. We're actually going to be balancing these tires shortly. So we're going to see. We're just going to mount them, balance them. There's no indicators on them, so we're going to see exactly how much weight these take, and if it happens that it takes an excessive amount of weight, or is asking for an excessive amount of weight, we'll take the industry advice, and we're going to actually break the bead back down and spin the tire 180 degrees and see if that makes a difference. If this tire is actually built to the exacting qualities that the manufacturer claims, then spinning it 180 degrees on the rim won't make a lick of difference. So we'll see. If it comes to that, we're going to do that. And even if it doesn't, just for fun, we might actually break one of these down and spin it 180 degrees and see if the weight changes. The only other markings on this tire that I'm going to discuss is on the face of the tire. So right here, there's a blue line. And I've had a few people ask about, well, what about these marks? Sometimes you'll see them, they'll be red, they'll be yellow, they'll be blue. These lines, this is just for warehousing purposes. This is so they can walk into the warehouse, they can look up, they can see a tire with this blue line and know exactly either what line of tire it is or what size of tire it is based on that line. Each manufacturer has a different, the placement of the line and the color of the line is going to dictate the size or the model of that particular tire. So all dots aside, let's just go over this. Any balancing is better than no balancing. Static balancing is not recommended. This is your old bubble style balancer. If that's all you got, that's all you got. Dynamic balancing on most modern tire balancers, that's where you're going to be probably 70% of the time. And then moving up from there is what's called as a road force. Other companies have different variations, but it's basically where a drum comes in contact with the tire, puts a force on it. It measures the resistance in the sidewall of the tire and may get you to break that tire down and move it on the rim for the placement, which is going to give the least vibration, the smoothest ride for that particular tire rim combo. It may not take the least amount of weight to balance it, but overall it will give you the best ride quality. So when it comes down to it, quickly glancing at a tire and looking at dots that may or may not be on the tire and going, oh, well, that dot's not lined up with the valve stem, or it doesn't necessarily mean that it's been done wrong. The tire could be balanced correctly for that tire rim combo, depending again if it's been on a road force balancer, a standard modern balancer, or if somebody's done it the old style static with a bubble balancer. Don't be quick to judge how well the tire is balanced based on the location of the dots. Okay, we've got our new tire mounted up on our factory rim. This has no dots, so there's no alignment. So what we're going to test now is we're going to spin this up, we're going to balance it. Then we're going to mark the valve stem location on the tire, spin the tire 180 degrees, and then spin it up and balance it again, and see if that makes any difference to the balance of it. If the tire is manufactured to the precision that they claim it is and not requiring these dots, then it should make a negligible difference, if nothing at all. Whew. Okay, so yep, we've spun it up, balanced, perfect balance. We're going to mark it, we're going to break it down, we're going to throw it back on here, and if these tires are as good as they're supposed to be, it shouldn't need any weight, or if it does, very, very minor. So we broke the tire down. You can't really see it, it's just off camera right here, but we've moved our mark 180 degrees from the valve stem, so now we're going to spin it up and we're going to see, is this tire going to still be balanced perfectly to zero, or is it going to be asking for weight? Roll, please. Survey says not as precise as we're led to believe. So we're going to go ahead and put this back and check the balance again. Moral of the story, if you got the dots, use them, they should help. If you don't have dots, well, you might have to move the tire around to find the best balance. If you have access to a road force balancer, that's going to give you the best results for at least harshness and vibration. The least amount of weight isn't always the best ride quality.